Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be hosting this masterclass. We're gonna wait like 1 minute, right, for people to sign in. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for taking the time out of your day and joining me. It means a lot, and I'm so excited for everything that you guys are gonna learn. So we're just gonna let some more people roll in, and we will get started. It is Wednesday, and I don't know how about you guys, but I feel like it's should be Friday, right? And also, I don't know why I thought 2 o'clock was a great idea to do a masterclass because 2 o'clock is when I start to get like, a nap sounds nice. But so for you guys can just sit back and relax, and I will share all the tea on how to land your ideal client in 30 days without a big following. We will get started now. It is 2 o'clock. There's so much to go over, so I will dive in. But again, for everybody that is just now joining, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come onto the masterclass. And I cannot wait to share what I have learned. Let's get into it. Okay, so we're gonna start by, this is our little template. We're gonna start by number one, identifying your ideal client and learning
Changed it.
from my, Monica, you are not muted, I think, or someone's not muted. Identifying your ideal client and learn my proven pitch format. Number two, reframe your mindset. Three, how to create your own opportunities. And four, the power of networking. You're gonna see also, I wanted to say really quickly in the chat, I have two teammates, Monica and Brooklyn. And so if you guys have questions or if they're gonna be sending things, you're gonna be like, who are these people that are writing right in the chat? Those are people from my team. We strongly encourage you guys engage. I want this to feel like we are here having a chat together. So we're bringing you to church today or school, whatever, and you can definitely write back, talk back to me. I love that. I'm here for it. Okay, so you are most likely in this class if you have ever felt like me and you felt stuck working with clients that have small budgets. Or honestly, you might not even feel worthy in approaching or booking clients with high end that are high end because you're like, do I have enough talent? Am I experienced enough? You know? And so that can keep you stuck and paralyzed. And so many times you might feel like, okay, the amount of time that you're investing in your business, it might not be reaping the rewards that you deserve or that you want to see, right? And so I have everything on this list here. I have felt as a small business owner. Okay. I have felt discouraged. I have felt overwhelmed. I have felt like, wait, I'm spinning my wheels. And how do I get traction? And so for now 10 years, I have really done the work, and I can now share that with you. If you don't know who I am, maybe you're a new follower or you found out from a friend. I am Alexis. I am the owner and creative director of The Shift Creative. We are a creative agency in Southern California, and we work with like a wide range of big brands. But it didn't always start out that way. I actually went to school for psychology. I was going to be a marriage and family therapist. And honestly, sometimes I think should I start dabbling in that again? I loved it so much, and psychology obviously is so important in relationships and dealing with clients and in any relationship. So I actually have no background in design. Okay, I did not go to school for design. I did not go to school for a business. Trust me, if I went to school for business, I wouldn't have had to learn the hard way for over a decade to share what I'm going to share. And so I am really just happy with where we're at today. But when I was 22, I got married. I got pregnant 3 months later as like a whoopsie that with Sophia. Sophia is 10, and she was along for the ride when I first started Shift. Okay, she was 6 months old, I think, when I launched the website, And then from photo shoots to installs, both my kids, Sullivan just turned 7 on Monday. They've been along for the ride from the beginning of Shift. So if you are a parent out there, I want to encourage you. Yes, it's very, very hard. I feel you, but it's also doable. And you are showing your kids that you are capable of doing the hard thing, which encourages them, inspires them to do the hard thing. So I just want to stop there. And I'm also a single mom now. So that's had its own challenges with business and personal life, balancing that. And so, yeah. So the Shift Creative, 10 years in the making. We are known for our set design and our fabrication, but we have pivoted more into brand renovations, our photo, our video campaigns, and one-on-one coaching. I actually launched one-on-one coaching and group coaching when I was during COVID. And it's something that I offer here and there for select people that I really want to dive deep with. And so that is a little bit about Shift and some of the clients that we've worked with. These are our ideal clients, but it definitely has never or did never look like this. This is just like the highlight reel, guys. Okay. We could post pretty pictures and there's blood, sweat, and tears. So I have failed, I have learned, and today I'm ready to share with you the best way to land your ideal client. Before we dive in, I want to say that it takes time. You know, you can take a masterclass, you can have coaching, and you are going to build more traction. But I just want to say, like, you don't get caught up in comparing other people's journey with your own, because you are exactly where you need to be. Okay. And so one of the biggest ways to land your ideal client, it's not necessarily by having a big following. So many times we get caught up in the number on our Instagram, right? Or our TikTok. And don't get me wrong, it does say, like, it does show to your client, yes, you have credibility. Yes, people are engaging with you. Absolutely, right? It opens doors, it gives you opportunities. However, what I have found in my years of experience is there's so many people that are making way more money with a small following because it is the quality of people. So if you think about something, let's just say you're going to promote a product that you are launching, and you have 100 like loyal followers, and your product is $100. That's $10,000 that you made by launching a product to only 100. Right? And so it really, like, I just want you to like move past the following and realize that the main way for you to hit your ideal client and land them is by pitching to them. Truly, it is by pitching to them. And so when we hear the word pitch, we think that, oh man, okay, we might get kind of feeling tense in our body, tightness in our chest, feeling like, wait, I don't know what to say, how to say it. You might feel intimidated. And you might really struggle with, wait, well, am I even valuable enough to be pitching to them? Is my offer of value, is it valuable, right? And so that might cause you to be stuck in actually pitching, right? So before we know, okay, how to pitch, we need to identify who we are pitching to, right? And here's the thing is, I want to go back to the basics. Some of this, you're going to be like, yeah, I know, ideal client. You need to know. Great, amazing. But if you were really clear on who your ideal client was, you probably wouldn't be as stuck as you are. Okay. And I know that I have gotten lost along the way. I know that sometimes things can start crashing down and you have to go back to the basics. You have to go back to school and relearn some things. And so we're going to go back to school right now, and we're going to talk about how to identify your ideal client. So if you're going to think about it, it's in business, if you don't have a clear direction of who they are, it's like you're walking around with no map, there's scribbles on it. Your toddler took a crayon and they scribbled on it, and now you're just walking around. You're moving, but there's no real traction. Okay, so we want to make sure that you have the map, the roadmap in your hand, so you have clear vision of where you want to go. So, how do we do that? Okay, we need to get super clear, super clear on who you are targeting. And so we're going to start by creating your ideal client avatar. And I wanted to share a few examples with you just so you could see like really how deep we're going to get with this. So example one, you are a social media agency, okay? And it's primarily for fashion and beauty. Your ideal client, her name is Alex. She has 100,000 followers. She is doing it, right? She has a fan base. She's 25 years old. She lives in New York. She's made six figures, which is huge, right? For a 25-year-old. And she is ready to pivot now. Okay, so she is entering into a whole new realm. So now this social media agency needs to know some things about Alex, right? So they need to know what her goal and what her pain points are. You've heard it said, this is not new news, but we're gonna revisit it. Her goal is to reposition herself as an authority in the beauty space. Her pain point is she's not credible. She's not credible right now in the beauty industry because she's been more of an influencer. This is her first time launching a product. No one knows what she knows about, if anything, about formulating a product, okay? And her main motivation is to help other women feel confident in their skin with affordable products, because what we know about Alex is she is developing a skincare line and she's struggled with acne, okay? So the solution that this social media company would provide to Alex would be they would create a reputable brand for Alex geared toward Gen Z because she's 25. Okay, so she might have a younger audience. They want to really showcase before and afters of this skincare product to show the benefits. They want to capitalize on Alex's personal journey. Why? To make her a real human, right? For buy-in. And another way for buy-in is to also really engage and use socials, polls, questions on social media, okay? So here's another example. This would be the Shift Creative's ideal client, okay? So here we are, creative agency, right? The ideal client would be someone in marketing. My person, her name is Brooklyn. She's the director of marketing. She's 35 years old. She lives in Santa Monica. Her demographic is she works for big brands like Hulu, Disney, right? Instacart, and they have a pretty wide range of a budget, but the minimum is 45K. And, you know, it could obviously go above 300K, but these are where our range is right now. Okay, so this would be my ideal client. So the pain point and the goal of my ideal client is what? They want to get more brands to have eyes on them. They want to get more eyes on their brand rather. And so how would they want to do that? They want to create FOMO. They want to create social media buzz. They want other people to be engaging with their product to drive sales, to drive revenue, okay? And their challenge is they can't find an agency that is creative enough to really promote that FOMO. They don't want a plain backdrop. They don't want, something that's just generic. And so it's a struggle to find someone that's not only creative, but that can do it all. And so for them, they want someone that they can trust, that has credibility, that can do it all for them. So our solution would be to ideate, execute their branding, photo, video campaigns, their activations, and we would help their brand connect to their audience, right? As a one-stop shop, okay? So this is how I know that you've heard this, most likely, okay? But I want you guys to also realize how many times in your business you have gone to the left or to the right and not have stayed on course. And it really does come back to your ideal client and how we're going to target them and then how we're going to pitch to them, okay? So that's why we're doing this. So now it's your turn to make your ideal client. And I want to go through these questions, and I want to take a minute, and I want you guys to write these down. You could write in the chat. I would love for you to write in the workbook or just on a piece of paper. It's shown that the more you write it down, the more you remember, right? So number one, what is your ideal client's age? What is their gender? Where are they located? What is their income? And what is their job title? And I just want to I'm going to actually set a timer for 1 minute so that we can really get clear, just clear your head and get really focused, laser focused on who is this client of yours. And also don't hesitate to read or to write in the chat as well. Who is your ideal client? I love seeing everyone. So many cool companies. I'm so excited that we can connect. We have 10 more seconds. Okay, perfect. Now that you have that, we're moving on to the next stage, okay? So the next stage is, what is their desire? So you saw this in our example, right? What is their desire? What is their goal? What are the challenges they are faced with in achieving those goals? What are they like hitting up against, right? And what is the solution that you can provide them? So remember in the example with the Shift Creative, my ideal client, they really want to create that FOMO, that social media buzz. They're trying to attract more eyes to their brand, but they're struggling finding a company that can be creative, be innovative, and that can kind of do a lot of things versus having to piece out a lot of different agencies or different vendors. So what is something that you are going to provide them? And I want you to, again, take a minute. I'm going to set my timer, and then you can go ahead and write them in the chat as well. So yeah, Rachel said her ideal client is 36. She's a female located in Orlando. Hot and humid in Orlando. Income 200 to 500,000 and a venture capitalist partner. Okay, perfect. Yes. Angelica, 30 to 45, female, located in Orlando too. We got some friends in here. Or traveling to Orlando. Maybe if you guys aren't friends, you should be friends. Okay, 75 to 100K, perfect. Job title, executive, attorney, or CEO. Aw, you guys are, okay, amazing, amazing. Okay, so what would their pain points be? And what would their desires be? And be thinking about that and the solution that you can provide. You're the expert. You are the expert. Only you can provide that. Okay, what is your secret sauce? And honestly, and I you know what, I didn't do this in my last masterclass, but your secret sauce doesn't even necessarily have to be something that you're offering. It can literally be you. It could be your personality. It could be how you interact with them. It can be how you follow up. It could be how you care and how you're actively listening, and the phone call and the follow-up and the check-in. That could be your secret sauce, like someone that actually cares enough. So I don't want you to get so caught up in the, well, I don't know if I have a secret sauce. Like, I just have this business and, like, you know, I do florals and this, but look at, like, Julia also does florals and she's good too. So, like, no, own you. What makes it you special, you know? And don't be afraid to hone in on that and to own that. Okay, so now that we know who your ideal client is, let's put together your perfect pitch. So here are my 5 action steps to implement when creating your pitch. And I think also Brooklyn and or Monica they're gonna also put a link into the chat with my pitch format so that you can print that out, you can keep it up on your computer, whatever. So it just helps you remember what are the questions that I'm gonna be asking when I'm pitching. So they'll send that in the chat now. Okay, so these are the 5 steps. Step 1, you are going to consider and choose your pitch format. Step 2, you will create a template for each format. 3, you're going to submit and deliver that pitch depending on the format. 4, you will follow up within 72 hours. Within 72 hours max. And guess what? Step 5, consistency. We love to hear it. It's kind of annoying, but it's the same. Continue to follow up until you hear a response. Okay, so we're going to dive into each step now. Okay, so step 1 is consider and choose the pitch format. So there's so many different ways and formats to pitch. So we're going to dive into a few here. Example 1 is direct messages. And what I like to say about direct messages is it's like a pre-pitch. It's still pitching because you're still putting yourself out there. You're still introducing yourself. But I want you to think about the DMs as an appetizer to the main course. Okay, you're giving them a taste, right? You're serving up something more delicious on the back end. But you're saying, hey, it's here. I know you want more, right? Okay, so in the direct messages, you are going to be targeting these types of people: marketing agencies, PR agencies, influencers, creative agencies, and then whoever your ideal client is, fill in the blank, right? But you're going to look for pages with 200,000 or less. And here's why: because you want a real person to write you back. And also when a lot of people have a lot of followers, or when some people have a lot of followers, the DMs can be really bogged down. And they might not even see your request, or they might not care, or it just gets lost, right? So you want to make sure that you're looking for people 200K or less and real people that can write you back. So here is an example of a DM that I sent. This is back in 2017, you guys. 2017. This is a real screenshot right here, okay? I don't know if you know who Jacqueline Johnson is, but she is the founder of Create and Cultivate. It's a women's entrepreneurial conference. She has a podcast. She's wrote a book. She literally sold her company, I think, for like 22 million. And then like, I don't even think it was a year went by, and then she rebought it. It's like, that's a boss move right there. But another boss move is that I DM'd her in 2017, okay? And this put my company really on the map, this little DM right here. Now, you're reading it, I'm sure. What I will say, and I'll read it as well, and we'll make some tweaks. I think that we could be a little bit more polished. I don't think we need to be 2 kiss emojis. You know what I mean? But this is real in 2017, right? I've since really honed in on my pitching. So this is what I said. I said, hey girl, just thought I'd reach out and introduce myself. My name is Alexis. I live in Southern California. I'm an installation artist and product stylist. I love what you are doing with Create and Cultivate and would love to work with you on something fun if you have a need for any installs or design additions. Kiss face, kiss face. That's too much. But it wasn't too much for her because she said, absolutely, I'm super familiar with your work and I'm a fan. Let's def chat. All right, let's break this down. So first, 1, what does this mean? This means that she could have just said no. She could have not even run me back at all. You have to be willing to put yourself out there. You have to be willing to send the DM. They might not write back, but they might. In this situation, she did, right? And so, of course, you're going to include your name, your business name, obviously your email, okay? And you always want to say what you have to offer. And so, obviously, here at that time, I was big on the installation side of things, and I was also doing like product styling in 2017. So I listed what I did, obviously I'm I'm DMing her from my business account. And then I'm also like complimenting her. And that is giving a little compliment. Oh, I love what you're doing. I love what you're doing with Create and Cultivate. Anytime you can make someone feel good, do it, right? Don't hold back. You could do a link to your portfolio if that is if that applies to you, and then also your schedule. So something that I wish I could have done, or that I do now in the future, or that I do now rather, is I'm very clear with time. So I might say, like, do you have time on this date, or do you have time on these dates to set up a 15-minute call? Right? So you want to really like end actually with like a clear CTA and really move the needle, which is what I didn't do here. Okay, so the next one would be emails. So the main question that we get asked is, where do you find the emails? And I don't know if this is just common sense for me, or if like other people, I have no idea what your thoughts are on this. Feel free to write in, but most people have their email on their Instagram. Again, under the 200,000, obviously, like, Instacart isn't going to have their email of their CEO on there. No, but the marketing agency will. The PR agency that is their advocate for that big brand will. So you have to think like that. It's not like you're just going to Target's Instagram and you're going to shoot them an email. You're thinking like, well, who does Target work with? Who does so-and-so work with? Who represents them? Who do they do a lot of events with? Who do they do a lot of whatever marketing with? And then you get their email, right? So you can get it from their Instagram many, many, many times. My email is on my Instagram on Chefs. You could just click email. Also on their website, there is typically a connect page or an inquiry page, and you can write there. In the forms on the websites, if you have a particular person that you're trying to get a hold of, even if it's just a department head, like director of marketing or whatever the case may be, I would just ask, hey, again, who you are, who you are, what value you're bringing to them, right? And then I would say, hey, like, I'm trying to get connected to this person. And many times they'll be like, okay, great, yeah, that's Sarah over here, and they'll just shoot the email over. Okay. And then as a rule of thumb, first name at, and then the name of the company. I had a girl that I was interviewing for a position. She didn't hear back from us right away, and I don't know how she got my email, because my personal email isn't connected to Instagram, but she probably knew the first name at and the name of the company, and I got the email. So now all you guys know my email. So, but yeah, no, and so that's a good rule of thumb, and it's like a 50-50 chance. You will most likely get someone that way. Okay. And with emails, I do tend to be more professional. Like the DM, I'm a little more cash. Emails, I'm definitely more professional. I still have my personality shine, because again, like what I talked about earlier was like, you are your brand, right? And so I like my personality to shine through. Okay, this pitch format in person, this is the one where I feel like it does yield the highest return. And why is that? Because you're talking to people in person. It's way easier to form connections and create like a relatable conversation when you are in person. So you might be asking, okay, well, how do I know where my ideal client is going to be? Like, right? How am I going to find them? You're not stalking them. So if that's the case, let's just say, I'm going to give you an example. You are let's just say you have a athleisure line, okay? And your ideal client is people in the gym industry, gym and wellness. And you're like, man, like I'm trying to really blow up my clothing company that I just launched. Okay, where could you go that your ideal client would be, right? And that would be fitness competitions, gyms, yoga studios, wellness retreats, wellness conferences. And guaranteed all those people are like-minded. All those people are wearing those types of clothes, okay? And all you have to do is find somebody and say, again, who you are and what you're offering and the value that you are going to bring to them. That's it. You have no idea how many times just putting yourself in the right situation will yield the biggest results. I cannot stress that. Okay, the next format would be PR gifting. And this is like a creative way. And I love this way. I love creativity though. So this option is great for two things. So if you've met somebody already, right? Let's just say with my athleisure example that you met someone at a fitness competition and you wanted to make them remember you. Let's just say in that conversation, they were like, oh, I love that. This protein company, these protein cookies. And you wanted to do work with them, you better be buying the protein cookies, sending in a sample of your hoodie or your shirt that you designed for that company, and you're sending it to them. And what does that really say about you? You're intentional, you were listening, and it will make you stand out. That's the whole point of pitching. How are you going to stand out from the sea of everybody else? Right? So you heard that they like that certain protein cookie, you bought that protein cookie and you sent them a free sample of your new clothing line. And it's just to say, hey, I'm here. I'm so excited. I can't wait to work with you, to collaborate with you. Okay. Number two, you've never met them, but you want to kind of break the ice and you want to draw attention to you and your company. So many times, this is great. Like, and you see influencers do this a lot where it's like, oh, so-and-so sent me this iPhone case, you know what I mean? Like, so cute. And it has like little pops out, like whatever. And then they tag the person. Well, all that was a pitch in of itself. They just sent the product to the company. And if the company liked it, then they promoted it. But that might not be your goal as promotion on socials. But if the goal is to draw attention to yourself, it is a great way to do that. And then you can have a CTA or an envelope, a message of some sort with that gift, where again, it's just like, hey, we haven't met in person. I love what you're doing. List out what you love about what they're doing. What do you love about what they're doing, right? I would love to insert your value. What's your value? How are you going to solve their pain point? And then boom, do you have time on this day or this day or this day, these times? Maybe do 3, 1, 2, 3. I like to do 3s. And then follow up. Okay, so things to remember after you pitch is you will experience imposter syndrome. I'm sure everyone on here has experienced imposter syndrome. I experienced imposter syndrome. And we're gonna get into mindset here in a minute, but I firmly believe that mindset is what will either keep you stunted or is going to propel you. Okay. So just know that you will experience it and be prepared for that. And I'm going to help you with that in the next few slides. Number 2, persistence and consistency is key, right? So it's like one of those things where if you don't go, like, let's just say you go to the gym and you just stand in the gym, nothing's happening. You have to actually work out. So the same thing with being consistent with pitching. You can't just be like, okay, well, I just sent one email. Well, I just, I made that reel. Why didn't they notice me? I tagged them in that. That's not enough. You have to keep applying it, right? And number 3, a no gets you closer to a yes. If they do respond, they're like, no, or not at this time. Ask questions. Ask, okay, is it a timing thing? When would be a good time, right? Don't just take the no and then don't email them back. And also, if it truly is no and they're just like, oh, actually, just not a good fit, right? It's just not a good fit. And they give you a reason why, and you're like, okay, valid. Maybe I'm not the person for you or the vendor for you. Then that just means you are getting closer to a yes. Think about this with followers, okay? And this is a vulnerable share, but this is real. Okay. And it's this, when we started promoting the masterclass, we started losing followers. We gained some, obviously we gained a lot, but we also lost a lot. Why? People weren't interested in the masterclass. Okay. And that's great because it's weeding out the people that we're not talking to. Why would I want to talk to somebody that doesn't value what I'm offering? Okay, so think about that in terms of followers as well, but also when it comes to when you're pitching. Great, no worries. I know a yes is coming. Okay. Number 4, ask for feedback. I kind of already hit on that a little bit. It shows that you're teachable. It shows you're teachable. And it's something that I do for every install or every client. I ask for feedback. What could I have done better? What did you love? There was this one company that we worked with. It was a $300,000 plus budget. And oh, it was a nightmare. Okay. It was a nightmare. And I asked for feedback. I was so scared. I was like, I don't want to ask for feedback. I asked for feedback, and homegirl, she was not playing around. She had a deck, and it was like, positives. And then it was like things to improve on. And it was so helpful. And I was so happy she did that. And those are the things that are going to help us grow in our business, is when we actually ask for that feedback. Okay. So moving on, we're going to talk about mindset, like I mentioned. To me, most important point, truly. So this is why your pitch is going to fail. It's just the facts. Your pitch will fail if you do not believe you're worthy to pitch it. And I know it's hard sometimes, and I know we get caught, we just replay these stories in our mind over and over. It could be from something when you were a little kid that maybe your parents or your friends said, and it just stuck with you, and you just believe that, right? Because a belief is just a thought that we've thought over and over. And then that belief turns into an identity. And that's how we run our business. Right, so you see the psychology person coming out of me now, but for real, like, and so it is so important. And so when you're pitching and you don't believe you're worth it, your ideal client's going to feel that as well, because your body language is going to be closed off. You might be like closing your arms, you might be avoiding eye contact, right? You're just like, and if you are communicating in that way, and if you actually don't believe in the product or in your service or your offer, what would make you think that your ideal client will, right? They're going to see through that. So these are some self-limiting beliefs I've struggled with. Raise your hand if you've struggled with any of these. I'm not good enough. I'm not talented enough. I don't make that much money. I probably never will. I'm stuck. I'm a failure, right? We've all been there, but this is so powerful. We need to learn how to reframe them and to flip them with a positive thought. Okay. So we want you to show up as your highest self, as the person that you want to be daily. You have to continue practicing that. Now, how can we do that? Okay, so first, I want you to ask yourself these questions, like, who do you need to become? Who do you want to become? How can you think differently? How can you believe that what you have to offer is of value so that your client believes the same? And so it's about, this is not positive thinking. I'm not preaching positive thinking. I am saying very, very, like, as transparent as I can, that your thoughts do matter, and that what you believe about yourself impacts everything else, truly. So what we need to start doing is identifying the thought and letting it go and flipping it and replacing it with another positive thought. Okay, moving on from that. I could talk on mindset literally, for days, because I truly believe that it's the foundation of everything. But we only have a certain amount of time, so I'm only going to be going quickly on these next few points. But don't worry, I'll have you covered at the end. Okay, so number 3 is creating your own opportunities. We cannot wait. We cannot wait, and we cannot think that our ideal client is going to come to us. I remember when I first started Shift, and it was just like, oh, I'm checking my phone. Oh my gosh, okay, I got an inquiry, right? Okay, cool. I'm just gonna take that, because I don't know when the next inquiry is going to come. So I'm just going to take that one. Doesn't feel aligned. Not a lot of money. I'm going to take it though. And we're just grab at whatever we can get. Okay. We have to go to them. We have to create our own opportunities, because no matter how many emails you get, those will not, most likely, not all the time, but they're probably not your ideal client. Okay. You have to sift them out. You have to sift them out. So like I said, you have to go to them. You have to learn to say no to low ticket offers, you guys, but goes back to mindset. It goes back to mindset. Because already when I say no to low ticket offers, you might be like, well, then how am I going to make money? Well, if I need to pay rent, or if I need to do this, and I have teams, and then but I got an inquiry, and it was $5,000, that $5,000 can go to this employee. How am I going to say no to this low ticket offer, right? Because there's a high ticket offer that you can land and make more money doing than wasting your time on the no ticket offer. Because what happens is this, and my team can say amen in the comments right now or in the chat, is I have had so many times, I cannot tell you, countless, where I get emails, $5,000, $2,000, $10,000, and I'm like, we're kind of slow right now. I guess we could just pick it up. Or we're busy, but this seems like no big deal. I'll just add it on. Make $5,000, make this, right? Great. And I know that it's not the right fit. Because even if you have that $5,000 in your pocket, what if that client is an absolute nightmare to work with, and they drain you of so much time and energy that, oh, you said yes to them, your ideal client, boom, emails you the next day, emails you 3 days later. You don't even have the capacity for them anymore because you said yes to this, and you're drained by them. So was the $5,000 worth the time and energy? No. So something that I've learned recently that I'm really trying to lean in is, if it's not a heck yes, it's a heck no. Keep saying that to yourself. Every time you get an email, is this aligned? Is this aligned to my business goals? Is this aligned to who I want to be and how I want to run my company? If it's not aligned, it's a no. It's a no. You have to get used to saying that. Operate out of an abundance mentality. These go hand in hand. More will come. More will come. And guess what? More is not going to come because you're just thinking it. No. More is coming because you are taking action to put yourself in situations where you are able to land and pitch your ideal client. You're creating those opportunities. You're not just sitting and waiting. Okay. So remember, we need to reframe our mindset. You do not have the time or space. I know you're busy. Oh man, I know you're busy. I know you feel like there's not enough hours in the day. You do not have the time or space to entertain low budget offers. Okay, you want to be spending more time with your family and your friends and going on vacations. You don't want to be spending time entertaining people that are wasting your time and are actually not paying you what you're worth, right? So you will book higher budget projects, and you need to operate out of abundance mentality. There's room for everybody, and there's clients, and there's money to be made. And also, with creating your own opportunities, collaborate. I feel like so many times collaboration can be a dirty word now in this industry. It's not, because you're doing it wrong. Collaboration is not just, oh, I'm doing something for free and I'm not going to get anything in return, and they promise me exposure. No, if you're doing it right, it will reap huge benefits for your company. So you need to be collaborating with peers in your industry that you're building trust and friendships and connections with, that will open doors up for you. Okay, so last point here is the power of networking. Networking is the fastest way to grow your business. Let me say it again. Networking is the fastest way to grow your business. Okay, don't confuse networking with collaboration. Similar, but collaboration, it's among your peers to produce a certain goal, whereas networking, it's all of your ideas within a specific industry, and the goal really is increasing your net worth. And you're taking more of the role as a student. So this could look like a mastermind, right? It can look like an actual networking event that you're going to, and you're really going with intention to receive and to learn and to connect with others and to not only provide value, but see who you can also receive from that can help move the needle in your business. So what happened to me was I started getting so comfortable at Shift because I was like, okay, I'm making good money. I'm built my team. People know of us, know of our work. And I took my foot off the gas. 1000%. I took my foot off the gas and I just coasted. And I don't know if that's where you are today. Maybe you're just coasting. And maybe you don't have the motivation right now. And I understand. I've been there. It really is burnout. You've probably been firing on all cylinders. But the biggest mistake I think that I had made was I had stopped networking. And really that comes from pride. You know, it was just kind of like I stopped networking, or it also comes from not enough time, but believing I didn't have enough time. Because the truth of the matter is we do make time for what's important to us. And so I stopped placing the value on networking. And I do believe that the company took a hit because I was not networking as I should have been. So whenever we begin to think we can do it ourselves, I think that's when we're in dangerous waters. And I don't know if a lot of you have started your business by yourself or feel alone in your business, but I definitely want to create an atmosphere where we thrive as a community as not only creatives, but business owners. If you're a mom, if you're a parent, there's always room to learn and grow, and you can't do it alone. So the influencer circle can either make or break you, literally make or break you. So you have to be wise about how you're networking and who you are networking with. And a good rule of thumb is looking at, I want to be like her. I want to be like him. Look up to people, get around those people and who they rub shoulders with. Okay, because I went to a networking event, a retreat actually, for 3 days. I met so many people that now I can speak on podcasts, that I've actually landed, I think, like 3 different branding opportunities with them because I placed myself in a room where everyone was like-minded, where we're networking and had the common goal, right? So you have no idea what it can do for your business. And like I said, it is the fastest way to grow. So my question to you is like, where do you want to be, right, in the next 6 months? We're talking about networking. We're talking about like creating your own opportunities. We're talking about all these things, but where do you want to be in the next 6 months? But also, where do you want to be in the next 30 days, right? I'm sure you don't want to be stuck. Sure, you don't want to be paralyzed. I'm sure you want to have a community. You don't want to feel alone. I'm sure you're like, okay, well, if I have to network and if that's the fastest way, then how do I do that? Well, I will say, I want you taking action. I don't want you just signing up for a course without getting results. And so with this masterclass, I had previously launched a course where some of my students had given me feedback and testimonials about like how it had impacted their business. And I want to take a minute to share that with you. And so Brittany, she had said, I went from an empty business page, zero knowledge of how to market myself, to growing my expertise, gaining followers, and she landed 2 clients while learning in that course. Okay. And then Anna also said, this was my first time. She invested in herself. It can be scary, which we all know, but she's so happy that she did that. Alexis equipped me with action steps so I can confidently pitch my services. And as a result, I've landed numerous partnerships. She says, if you are on the fence to sign up, don't wait. So what they're talking about is a course that I had developed during COVID that I have revamped and really have put a lot of time and energy into. And their results came from those proven methods, but now I've even like really like made it way more elevated and better. And so the best part is that I can help you get to your solutions faster in a 4-week live course. And it's called Your Network is Your Net Worth. That's how much I believe in the power of networking, truly, because I do believe it's your net worth. And this is what you'll learn. So I'm going to walk you through how to reframe your mindset so that you can communicate with confidence and it takes the fear out of rejection. I said to you how like important mindset was. I believe it. And I think that we really just need to dive deep first there. Second, I'm going to provide you with my exact pitch template so you can walk away with like literally copy and paste, but put your name like at school, like you just erased your friend's name. You will have strategic outlines and how to create opportunities and collaborate with others so that you can build community. And you will be equipped to network with those who have the connections that you deserve. We're not going to leave you hanging. You're going to get a workbook. If you are like type A and you like to write everything down, that's for you. If you're like me, maybe you're doing notes in your phone, great, amazing. And it's a complete blueprint for how to increase your net worth through your network, through your people, through your sphere of influence, right? That we're talking about. And for the masterclass today, it is only $197. It does go higher at the end of the week, or actually no, tomorrow. Sorry, tomorrow it increases. So it is on sale today for $197. And I just want to remind you guys, like, you are your biggest asset and you are the most valuable asset. Like, investing in yourself, I wish I would have done it sooner, truly. But I'm sitting here telling you that I have invested thousands of dollars in coaching for business coaches to coach me in courses and all the things. So I'm not sitting here telling you to invest in something that I haven't done as well. And we all know when you pay for something, you're more likely to take action, and we want to transform quicker. And so the way that we can transform quicker is by being more self-aware. Okay. So I don't want you just to be learning more. It's like that analogy I gave about the gym. You can go to the gym and stand there and you're not going to gain muscle. The same with this. You can attend this masterclass and you can close your computer and be done and be like, I'm done. Okay, cool. I took some notes, done. Or you can be starting to apply it and learn it. And this course is what's going to help you actually have you freaking do it and have you be held accountable. So you're actually doing more. Okay. So when we're talking about a community and feeling alone as business owners, we're doing a 30-day Facebook community, so you're not doing it alone. We're going to feature you in our newsletter as well. So like, if you have any offers or anything that you want to pitch, here's your way right now. We are giving you a way to pitch to our audience on the newsletter. 10% off our branding, and then our networking one-on-one guide, that is literally all of like ton of events, like across the US. Okay, that you can go to, we've done the research for, and there's prompts, there's questions, so that you can network with ease, and so you're set up for success. Okay, so again, you can sign up today. It's $197 just for you guys, only on the masterclass. I'm not offering this on Instagram. So I'm offering on Instagram, but for a higher price. So this is just for today only. And like I mentioned earlier, it's like, and you know it's true, it's like we make time for what is important to us. You know that. Like if you're down for your Netflix show because you love it and you like are like, it's coming out on this day or whatever, it's like we also make time for our business. We make time for our kids, our spouse, our partner, our friends. We make time for what is important to us. And so really it comes down to how badly do you want to change? How badly do we want to change? That's the only way we're going to see movement in our business. So I can't wait to see you on the inside of your network is your net worth. I think it's really going to change the trajectory of your business. And I can't wait to see you there. So I want to dive into the live Q&A. We have a few more minutes, and I really just want to take this time to answer any questions you have and be as transparent as possible. So if you have any questions, I am all ears, and we will dive in. I'm just reading. Something that I do want to say is for the course, it is live, 4 weeks live. So I will be teaching you live, and there's always Q&A at the end, so we can get really like deep, gritty. But if you can't attend at a certain time, there's always a replay. So don't feel like, oh, I don't have the time, or I'm feeling pigeonholed, or I'm feeling like I can't do it. It's like, no, you have the replay. You're going to be great. Okay, so Victoria asked, when do you stop offering free services and products during the beginning stages? That's a great question. And you know what I'm going to even say to that is, if there was a really great partnership today for me and it required me to do something for free, I would still do it. But you have to weigh that out. You have to weigh out the value that it is for you. And you have to look, and again, when we're talking about your network is your net worth, who is offering that? Is it someone that you want to be like? Is it someone that you needed their connections, or they might open new doors for you? Because if that's the case, go for it. Still do it. However, and I get deep into this in the course with collaboration, because I know that a lot of small business owners feel taken advantage of with exposure and all this stuff. But I want to say it goes back to the heck yes and heck no type of situation. Like, you need to be so clear on the direction of your business and the goals your business has and your ideal client that it's going to be very clear to weed out who you want to collaborate with. So I don't think there's a certain timeline of when you need to stop doing things for free. I think you just need to be intentional, and I think you need to be selective, and you just need to ask every single collaboration that comes your way, what value does this bring, and is it worth it for me in the long run? And it might not necessarily equal money right away. It could equal the connection that opens the door in the future. So not everything is just boom, I got a client right away. It's about who you know. That's why your network is so important, because it increases your network, your net worth, right? Okay. My ideal client emailed me, but it has a budget where I won't make any money. Should I say yes or no to this? My ideal client. Okay, well, first, I don't know. Number one, that goes back to, is that your ideal client? Because does your ideal client have money? Seriously. Because if your ideal client has money, then they would be approaching you with a budget. And so maybe this isn't your ideal client, right? So says, should I say yes or no? Again, it kind of goes back to, what's the value? What is the value that they bring? If it's someone that you admire, someone that you want to get to know, and you know that they have certain connections. Also, you have power in this. You have power when people reach out to you and they say, hey, can you do this for free? Ask them, what value are you going to bring me in return? It could literally be, video is super important right now. Graphics, photos. And I would, for sure, if someone was like, I'll give you a dope video. Like, if you do X, Y, and Z, yeah, maybe. Like, it depends. So it's not necessarily an exchange of just money. It's how you determine value for your services is how you're going to know to say yes or no. Okay. How have you gone about pricing your services? Do you follow a package structure or price based on client need with a minimum? Okay. So with pricing, I don't, ours is so custom. Ours is so custom. So we, because it's custom, it really depends, but I set a minimum. And I want to be fully transparent with you guys. My minimum at the beginning was literally like $500. Okay. And then like I raised it to 2,000 and I was so proud of myself. 2,000. And then I raised it again. It was like 10. And then I raised it again. It was like 15. And then now I'm like raising it. It's like, so you continue to raise your minimum. And so I think that that's a good place to start, is identify how low are you willing to go for your time and your team's time if you have a team, right? So start there. But, and then our branding packages, that's flat rate. And we have a la carte options and stuff, but we have a flat rate. It's $2,800. You guys get 10% off if you are interested in that, but it's $2,800 for our branding. That is a flat rate. And then we have a la carte options, again, flat rate. So when you do something custom, you can't just have flat rates, but when you have something like a package, then you can offer a flat rate. So it just depends on what you're selling, what your product is. Okay. So another person said, how do you find your ideal client based on their income? I find myself lowering my prices to meet my current customers. How do you find your ideal client based on their income level? I find myself lowering my prices. Well, again, if you're finding yourself lowering your prices, again, I don't think that that's your ideal client. If they're coming to you, then I think, okay, So I want to pause actually really quick because it also your pricing depends on your experience as well. So if you're way out of the ballpark and you are, saying, oh, my wedding package, my photography package is 50K, and you don't really have a lot of experience, you're gonna get a lot of no's, and then you're gonna find yourself lowering your price, right? Because that client doesn't see the value in what you're offering. So there could be something there where if you're hitting if you're really like being met with like no, 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 and you're not experienced, then yes, you should probably lower your price. But if you are experienced, then that probably isn't your ideal client. And researching them, I don't necessarily research their income. I just kind of create my client avatar, and then as I'm in communication with these agencies, which is where I work primarily, then that's when I can say like, these are my minimums, or this is what a project would look like. And then it's more of a conversation. And the more conversations you have with people you think your ideal client, the easier it is to weed out, oh, actually they're not my ideal client. I thought they were, but they are only have $2,000. You know what I'm saying? Something too is with marketing agencies, what I found is some of them, when they come approach us, from Instagram and from who their clients are, sometimes you think, wow, they must have a big budget because they work with all these brands. In my experience, they literally have like $8,000 and they want you to do a whole thing. So it's kind of like you're just researching, you're gathering the information, you're seeing actually who is your ideal client first to figure out the income part. I don't know if that's making sense. You have to have the conversations, you have to kind of identify and sift through, and then you'll be able to say, oh, okay, well, I kind of know that this company doesn't really have that big of a budget, or this company doesn't, or the company does. So it's kind of like you start from here and you build up. Okay, I think that those are most of the questions. We are at 3:01, and I want to be able to respect your guys' time. But I will say that it was a pleasure hosting this masterclass. I hope that it was informative. I hope you feel encouraged. I hope you feel inspired. And I hope I see you on the inside of your network is your net worth. It's going to be super in depth, very tangible, very plug and play. So I can't wait to see you guys there. And thank you so much. Have a great day.